Hey guys, welcome back to the Faithful Farmer Momma. Remember me? So you may have noticed it's been a minute or two since my last video, and for that I wanted to apologize first. I have always been a once a week kind of gal and making sure that it's getting done. However, this summer has taken over. I can't believe it is September. How is it September? But all of August we had so much stuff going on here on the farm that I thought I would just come show you a couple of the projects that we have going on, but also give you a little quick tour of the gardens and a new business adventure that I have started. It's not quite yet fall, however, I will say I am in such a fall mood. I am so done with summer. Summer was so busy that I barely had time to even breathe. And although it was busy, it was so wonderful for our family. We've added a few new animals to our farm. Look at those beautiful turkeys. I'm so excited about them. And we still have our crazy escape artist by Mr. Butch. And we do still have our old ones, of course, Shirley, Jude, and Mary. We don't really know yet if the girls are bred, but I'm kind of thinking they are, but we shall see come October. And since our last visit, the gardens have taken over. This is the time of year that things are exploding, and we are also changing over to our fall crop. So this is our side flower bed that actually sit on the northern side of the house. It is beautiful and exploding with color, but it's also taking over. Some of my lemon balm has jumped their fence, so it's just out in the middle of the yard. So that's one of the goals I have in the fall to fix. But I have mint and lots of flowers over here that like the shady side of life. And for those of you who know how much I adore spiders, look at this crazy guy. Ugh. This is a zipper spider, very common here in Oklahoma. I'm guessing that that is an egg sac. Yuck. Here on the southern side of the house, we have a lot still going on. Basil, ginger, even tomatoes. My lavender has been thriving on this side of the house. I actually bought some more this year, and I'm going to actually plant it down in the cut flower garden when we redo it. But I have snapdragons and banana peppers that are still blooming and producing, and jalapenos. I still have jalapenos still growing. They're still beautiful as ever. Just need a little bit more time here on the plant. Lantana, rosemary, oregano, zinnias, more basil. It's been a beautiful year for flowers. I think the most impressive thing I can say about the cut flower garden is it needs some love. And our corn stalks are done for the year. I got no corn this year, guys. We're gonna have to work on that next year. But this year, I'm gonna have some beautiful decorations for the fall. We started taking out the goat paneling so that we could keep Butch in control. And it has not really done anything different to the flower garden. If you notice, the grass has just taken over. It really just needs to be re-tilled, and we need to do a little bit more of an edge so that we can keep the grass from actually coming in right here. And I'm thinking about putting bricks or stone with a plastic separator so the grass won't jump the fence anymore. But my marigolds thrived in this condition, and believe it or not, I still got tomatoes, and I'm still getting tomatoes. All different kinds of tomatoes. These are the sugar snaps that I had from last year. There's one here too. They're really juicy and sweet, but my Romas are still growing. You can kind of see them nestled in over there in a couple spots. They almost look like the marigolds. But I do have some tomatoes that are down here. Very thankful for a friend who gave me a whole box of tomatoes, which gave us our spaghetti sauce or pasta sauce for the year. I have lots of pepper plants that are still doing well. I just picked all my cayenne peppers to make a hot sauce. That'll be happening here in the next couple of days. I will be fermenting them, but I have red peppers growing down here as well, jalapenos, sweet Mexibel peppers. This is a red pepper. It will turn eventually. So I am excited that we still have some stuff growing. My zinnias never really did take off this year. I'm not sure why. I had a couple that transplanted themselves. As you remember, we have some in the middle of a walkway, but these turned out beautiful. I mean, and they're not tiny either, which is huge, because the ones I was getting, they were so small. Kind of like this. But I do still have a few big ones, which they've kind of seeded themselves from last year. Thought I would show that we still have our guineas. We have 10. They'll visit me every once in a while. I don't see them too often. They kind of hang out everywhere on the yard, but they're great for bug eating. The bean garden has done really well. We will definitely use this bed next year, and again, trying to keep the grass out of it has been difficult, but we'll work on that too. Still gathering green beans and still gathering cowpeas. One of the best things I love about my cowpeas is that they will double seed every year. So I've already picked 9 quarts of cowpeas. But if you notice all the little white blooms, we will get a second picking here in about 2 or 3 weeks. Looking forward to that. Camila. The last part of the gardens is definitely our potato beds, pumpkin patch, and cut flower, or excuse me, raised beds. The potato beds are really about through. I'm still getting some white patty pan squash that we absolutely love. I'm still picking those. My sunflowers are definitely done for the year, but I'm letting them dry so I can give them to the birds. And then again, I still have a tomato. Oh, excuse me in the video. Still have a tomato. This is my Dr. White's. If you're on my Instagram account, you saw me talking about these. These tomatoes are huge. They are yellow. You can almost see that one. There you go. They do turn yellow. They're really delicious, very meaty. They are not a Oh, this one's rotten because the chicken got to it. Thank God the chickens are right there. They're just really delicious. This was my pumpkin and gourd patch. I pulled these all out just the other day. They were infested with aphids because I hadn't been here for about a week. So I pulled them out. They will go away. Dusty, what are you doing? And I do have some gourds still growing over there, if you notice. These two are on the hunt for something. Now in this patch, my goal is to get cabbage. I need cabbage very badly for sauerkraut and fermented foods. Like, I like to put it in a lot of things, Chinese rice and such. And I did not get any cabbage in the spring. So in this bed right here, I plan on putting some cabbage heads. I need to get those seeds in the ground really soon because our first frost date is coming up quickly. And of course, my last garden area are the raised beds. And these did really well this year. I just recently pulled out the squash I had here. If you saw my last video or my Instagram account, I was talking about they had kind of rotted a little bit. And I think it was because it was in this bed. I've never had to deal with that before out in the field. So this was kind of new for me. I still have some potatoes growing here, waiting for them to die back to pull. These are sweet potatoes, and it's funny, I think I talked about this in one of my last videos, how I probably shouldn't have planted them in here. They didn't have enough room to grow. I thought I would just leave them for decoration, but yesterday I came out here and I actually was looking, and I have sweet potatoes. Very excited about that. I'm going to be digging those up here in a couple days. Just some flowers I've planted. I have another tomato over here. I had a worm eating all of my potatoes that are here, so I'm not real sure what's going on with that. But this tomato here is also a yellow tomato, and it's gone bonkers. Like bonkers. I've gotten more of these tomatoes than any other tomato in the whole garden. And soon I'll be putting this beauty to bed for the winter. I have some permanent things in here like sage. My dill always comes back in the same spot. My Italian parsley always comes back. I have some rosemary here, leeks here. They will come back in the spring. Still have a tomato that I'm kind of nursing. It's just about done. Have a couple red tomatoes that are trying to turn red. You can probably see those in there. And then I do have a cat. I do have peppers still growing. I have a lot of poblanos growing. If you have never tried a poblano pepper, you want to try a poblano pepper. They sometimes can be spicy, but sometimes not. I absolutely love them. That is what they make chili rellenos out of. I like to use them in chili and salsa and all kinds of anything that needs a pepper. We still have tomatoes on the windowsills, which have been being preserved over time. There's been a lot of food preservation and saving for the rest of the year. Lots of canning and just ways to be able to save the beautiful harvest of summer. This baby has gotten lots of use. These are my onions and my garlic saved for the rest of the year. So that is pretty much it out here on the outside. Just trying to keep the grass cut and keeping things clean and maintained has been difficult this summer just because of so much going on. We are back to our normal routine, so life kind of tends to go busy through the winter as well. However, there are a couple projects that I've been working on that I'm going to take you inside and show. I have something that I've been working on. If you follow my Instagram account, you probably already know, but if you don't, you're going to want to go follow it. It's called the Apron Lady. If you have been part of my channel for any length of time, you know that I love antiquing and thrifting and anything that's vintage. I found that apron there a while back at an antique shop and decided to kind of replicate it to share with the world. I love to sew and I love aprons. I wear one every single day. And being able to make them and share them with you is huge for me. If you would be interested in an apron, all you need to do is contact me here on comments or go on my Instagram page and find me at the Apron Lady. This business adventure has been wonderful. Recently, we headed to Berlin, Ohio to Zinks to go through this amazing fabric store. This store has everything anyone who sews could possibly want. I went in looking for variety and looking for prints that looked sort of vintage so that I could replicate my apron to sell. Guys, I have a vendor event coming up on the 1st of November. I have found some beautiful fabric for. Well, thanks guys for coming back to visit, and I'm so thankful you're here. I know I've said it in the past many of times how grateful I am that y'all are part of my channel, but without you, I wouldn't really even have a wanting to do this. So I'm grateful that you're here. I'm grateful that I get to share. Please comment below if there's something that you'd like to see in the next couple of weeks. I am working on a couple of projects that they're kind of in the midway, so I don't really want to get them on here quite yet. A couple more weeks they need in order for me to be able to put them out, but I'd love to know what you'd like to see. And I hope you enjoyed some of the video from our most recent trip. And if you want to see more of those, you can go down here and find the playlist that has all of our antiquing and all of our thrifting and all of our trips that we have taken over the past year. Thanks guys, see you next time.